What's up, everybody? You're tuning into the very first AFTERBUZZ TV after show for $1 Million Listing Los Angeles. We're recapping Season 9, Episodes 1 and 2. Madison's back, and Josh are already at each other's throats. Let's get into it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey.
Had a party.
Taking my request.
Starting off right, I mean, we're in
I
LA.
love Cali here.
Makes sense.
California love.
Cali, baby.
What's up, guys? My name is Erica Shannon. You can follow me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby, and I'd love to introduce my very nicely dressed, if you can see, co-host, starting with Dan.
Yes, well, guys, you can find me on the tweet on the Twitter at Dan Babic with an underscore after Babic, and then find me on Instagram at Dan Babic. That is DANBABIC, bitches.
I should spell it out too. Hey everyone, I'm Nataly Tavidian. That's Natalie with a Y. You can find me everywhere at Nataly Tavidian.
What's up, everyone? I'm Nick Mardi, and you can find me heavy on Instagram, NickMardi13. That's with a D-I.
Wonderful. So let's get into it. We're starting off with the War of Real Estate and Bye, Felicia. So what did you guys think of the first couple episodes?
Good, well, I like Bye Felicia the best because I just thought that was just a killer moment. Like, Bye Felicia, because it's all, a bit serious, and I always say, trust the gay to, to bring a bit of drama, a bit of
Dan,
fun.
you loved it so much you want to become a real estate agent.
Yeah, it reminds me of when I used to watch The Hills. I decided I wanted to become a publicist because that's what Lauren on The Hills did. And I did 2 years of PR school and dropped out. So maybe not the most viable option.
I feel like every show you watch, you're going to immediately be like, career change, real quick. Just, I want to try it out.
Yeah, absolutely. What did you think of the show? What did you think of the first 2 episodes?
I love, first show, cool like you said. Second show, I think everything came together. I think I would say 1 and 2 were a combo little package. And now we're going to move on because the relationship that we'll get into a little bit later of Josh mended and they're back to being friends, which we'll get into, I said.
Sort of back to being friends. I mean, they had to shake hands,
They didn't shake hands, but I felt like there was a little bit of smirking.
Line.
So let's start with that,
Shake
actually.
hands, that's right.
So Josh Altman has a property with Lucky. At first, he turned it down because Lucky wanted to list it for too high of a price. Yeah. But he ended up bringing Josh
to your
in.
agent, Lucky.
Yes. He wanted to bring Josh in, and they ended up listing it at $6,995.
Yes.
And Lucky originally wanted $8 million for the show,
Right.
for the home.
For the home,
show.
yeah.
Which would have been about a $5 million profit, right? Because he bought it for 3.2.
And he spent about $1 million on it.
And he was really eager to get that price too.
Or so he says.
But his wife was
Gorgeous
like, no,
home.
we got to get rid of this place. We just got
She
married.
needed her zen.
Yeah.
The yoga instructor, I really liked her.
So it turns out that Josh Flagg, which I love, he works down the street from me at Rodeo. I work at Nest Seekers.
Okay,
Hey, guys.
all right. I don't work there.
He had a client, actually, Cameron, who is his little protege.
16-year-old singer.
Yes. Which was, she wasn't
She's
too
so
bad.
smart.
She wasn't too bad at
She
singing.
knows
I wish I thought like that at 16
Because
years
she's on the
old.
Disney Channel, yeah? Is that?
Oh, I don't know.
She's opened for One Direction.
Oh,
She's a singer
yeah.
who's open for One Direction.
Yeah. So she knows her
And
stuff,
others.
and it magically turns out that the house that Cameron wants is the house that Josh Altman has.
What are
so
the odds?
It already sets it up for some drama.
I was really surprised even when she had gone to Josh and been like, look, is it a problem buying the house because of your relationship with Josh Altman? Or is it in fact the numbers aren't working? That's what was pretty smart.
She felt that tension.
But enough of Cameron.
I wonder, did she already know? Like, did she watch the show before? Or how was she able to interpret that there's that
I think I've got a bit of, I think producers were like, okay, this is what's happened, here's the
Could've
backstory, gotta say this, do this, and that's good for the show. Because that's, it is a reality show.
Because I thought they were pretty professional when she was around.
Right.
When their client was
so.
around.
Yeah.
I disagree with that.
So?
They were talking, they were throwing around a couple swear words while they were meeting and leaving that I thought she obviously got the deal that he said, oh, that's your mentor? They're pointing to Josh Flagg, and that immediately insinuated you're with an idiot, and then Cameron's sitting there like, well, my mom
Great
told me
mentor, by the way.
to learn from this guy.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
But it didn't seem to deter her at all.
No.
She still seemed
Very mature, it seems like.
She trusts him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was impressed. I'm like, when I was 16, I was just like, woo, like whatever, like, whatever. We know how to negotiate. I was like, Cameron, snaps for Cameron, as they say on Legally Blonde. Snaps for Cameron. Yeah.
Snaps for Grace.
Yeah.
So that actually led to the Joshes sitting down. I don't know if I should call them the Joshes. That sounds
No, I like
the
that.
Corys.
I like the Joshes.
I like the Joshes.
I like
Yeah,
the
it's like
Joshes.
the Donald,
Flag
the
and
Joshes.
Altman sitting down.
So they sat down, and of course, Josh Flagg had to manipulate it a little bit and show up late. We saw
That was
him.
an awesome negotiating scene.
We saw him walking around,
Awesome
smelling
editing, yeah.
flowers and
Taking his time.
all of that.
Yeah.
At his own place. It was his
Yeah.
own place, and he was late.
Yeah.
All a tactic, he said.
Well, we learned from his dinner with James. Sorry. We learned with his dinner from James that whoever arrives last has to pay. So
Ooh.
he probably did that to try to set Altman
Which
up
was
a
a
little.
sad,
Who made up that
dinner.
rule?
He did, and he lives by it, so it works.
I always say whoever asked you pays. You know, so if I'm like, oh, let's go for
Whoever
lunch.
invited you.
Yeah, then I'll pay
Yeah.
for lunch.
If that's
yeah.
the case, I'm never gonna ask him. I'm just like,
I never
have
ask, yeah.
you gone out recently? I haven't gone out in 2 years.
Yeah.
Everyone knows.
Well, that's what we do in
Josh
the
Flagg's breakup, though, that made me really upset.
Oh yeah, we can talk about
He
Holden
was-
for a second.
Yeah. He was in a relationship for almost 9 years.
Yeah.
I was happy. I was like, here's my number. Like, 424-205.
We're pretty close.
Oh,
We're pretty close for you.
listening.
And you know who works next to him.
Yeah.
I know.
Even
Set it
though
up.
he's outside. He was outside on the phone. I'm like, when does he film outside?
I've seen him before outside.
Really?
I was just walking past.
That's
He was taking
amazing.
pictures for Uber, I found out.
I guess I'm in the office trying to work too hard.
Get
You're
out.
doing your actual
Get
job,
out.
Yeah.
so you can't
Yeah,
blame
yeah.
yourself.
You need to be a real estate agent on a reality show. That's more fun.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
only like
Yeah.
20% real estate. The rest is drama.
Yeah.
Josh Altman's Instagram is filled with like him visiting different real estate agencies around the U.S. and giving lectures. I haven't seen a picture of him either an open house that somebody's doing for him or he's doing it.
Well, he wants to spread the knowledge.
Yeah, I'm saying he's not doing real estate. That's a job we all gotta hop
Well,
on.
he's doing it. He just has people under him, like Madison, who they sit his open houses. They work the listings for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Britney Spears. She's singing, but she's probably not really singing. You know, someone else has
True.
pre-recorded.
Oh, God.
She gets on stage. She puts on a bit of a show, but you know, yeah. Aside from that, there's really not much work there.
Speaking of Madison, though, how much did you like that orange theme that in episode 1?
Yeah, because he
Orange
wasn't in
theme
episode 2.
Going for his open house with a backyard filled with dolphins. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, Malibu's beautiful. I was just up there this weekend. The drive, have you taken the drive up PCH?
Yes.
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 It's so
Yes.
lovely and it's so peaceful. But yeah, that's his hood. So he was listing a property that had already had an offer on it at the time of his open house, which was very convenient. And then he had a client that walked in with their agent. What did we think about that client that wanted to buy the house for his mom?
Well, that's where they talked about how the emotion goes into it because he wants a nice place for his mother. He really wanted that home. Who wouldn't want to buy their mom a house with dolphins in the backyard?
I know, yeah. I want to take it a step further. I want a house with panda bears. I always say
There you go.
in Beverly Hills, I say when I've made it, I want 2 panda bears. I want the mama bear and the daddy bear, and then they can make a baby bear.
That sounds like you might be wanting
gonna
to move
find that
into
for
the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah, that sounds like a good
Playboy
spot for Panda.
Mansion?
Big
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
I'm gonna find a house with bamboo for
You know
Dan.
who can find you that house? Either these two ladies.
Well, set it up.
Well, unfortunately, the Playboy Mansion just sold for about $200 million.
That's-
So
Oh.
They wanted 200. They got 100 for it, right? And the guy wants to throw parties there. I remember. If I
I'm gonna
remember
fact check
now.
this.
They wanted 200, but then everyone was like, "You're ridiculous."
yeah.
Oh no, just
It
breaking
was a
away.
lot.
Just breaking away from $1 Million Listing. I'm not sure if you had the same theory as I do, but I'm like, when is Hugh Hefner gonna die?
He almost did. He almost did.
Dan Babic.
No, poor Crystal sitting there, just like, for fuck's sake, I just want my money.
Can we move on to BB though?
Yes.
The big $45 million home?
Speaking of wealthy men,
Yes,
Manny.
the owner of BB, Manny.
Yeah.
That home was an incredible Mediterranean style home. $45 million. The new agent came in. We're kind of
But with a catch.
so
brand
You know.
new agent.
let's set it up.
I know.
So
Yeah.
David James and even Mauricio went to this listing appointment with Manny, and they walk in to find Kelsey.
Yep.
Confusion. Who is this girl?
Yeah.
Manny introduces her as the listing agent.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, wait, I thought we were here for a meeting to be the listing agents.
And then it turns out that Manny wants them to co-list, which is understandable because it would be Kelsey's first deal, and so it would be good to have some experience.
45. You know.
Bitch, I thought she was there. I thought she was there hanging, to be the cocktail waitress, hand out some cocktails, give a bit of tappers.
No,
I mean, the way
this is
she
her
approached
first listing. She is starting up here.
Boom,
and with
baby.
the editing, I feel like during the open house when they had the first couple clients come in, and then the editing shows her like patting the pillows, really like looking really ditzy. I feel like is she really that like
I don't
she doesn't
think
have that much
so.
knowledge,
I like her.
is she actually smart?
I think she's smart.
No, she was. I think
she got a
at that
$45
point,
million home as her first listing.
I think at that point she was just following James and David's lead and setting up and making sure everything looked nice and appropriate for Kofi.
She's done the whole Paris Hilton style. Acting dumb and ditzy, but then like a crazy businesswoman.
She's very smart.
Because like as I said, people don't realize, but Paris Hilton has actually created I think it's a $5 billion empire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure.
Really?
And you see Paris like, hey, that's her, and I'm telling you, she's using that as a facade so people
Of course.
underestimate her.
There's a little documentary about it, right?
Yeah, and then she can go in for the kill. So I'm like, smart woman, because everyone's thinking, whose cock did you suck to get here?
Interesting.
But she's like, no, I've worked hard. I'm
They
gonna play
are
this.
friends.
Well, I mean, we could go into that.
Yeah, maybe she
Literally.
has.
No.
But more power to her. You do what you got to do.
Yeah, she got a $45 million listing out of it. So she knows
But there's
enough.
a little bit of a roadblock there.
Oh, the
Manny wants
within
to
the listing
lease
agreement
it for 2 months. And then there's that. Within the listing agreement, it says that Manny can cancel at any time.
with no penalty,
Yeah.
which is what makes James and David go.
And David James were freaking out when because she wasn't even wanting to talk with Manny about it. She was just like, no, Manny, what Manny says, Manny goes, goes. And there was no going back. And so David and James were like, we have to go to St. Ives because we put in $50,000 already into the marketing, and now they said that's literally poison in the industry to put in so much in the marketing, exactly, and then all of a sudden take it off the market for 2 months, and then you go back. It's like then everyone's gonna think, what happened to the property, whatever else.
And Manny's only speaking with her. He's
Yeah.
not talking to the co-listers,
which is a problem.
what makes it very difficult.
Yeah, it can form an issue because you have to keep everybody in the loop so everybody's on the same page. So you're not talking to one person and hearing.
But then at the end of the day, it is a reality show. So
Absolutely. And Manny owns BB, so he could do what he wants.
So you have to up the drama.
Yeah, absolutely.
By creating some tension there. Yeah, but
send us some clothes, man.
Speaking of tension, that property at St. Ives with Jay.
Ooh.
That developer.
Jay's always been like this. Every single season he's been on.
He was saying that, yeah.
What he wants, no matter what. Jay's very strict with his properties. He knows what he wants. An infinity pool, if it's a centimeter off, he's going to call them out for it and scream. And David and James are going to be like, all right, just not our heads. Just don't cut our heads off. He's very serious about his properties. But when he's happy, he's happy. You saw the hug.
He was proud of them.
Yeah.
Give them a hug.
So what happened was, at St. Ives, Don, the buyer, came in. I can't remember his agent's name off the top of my head. And wanted...
Cindy.
Wanted the property, but wanted a list of repairs and changes.
Subterranean garage. I didn't know you could ask for that.
I love that.
Coffee machine?
$6,000 Mitiato.
Please throw in a coffee machine. I will take the house.
Yep.
And so Jay gave in on a couple, absolutely couldn't do the subterranean parking. Do you think that was smart? Do you think he should have not tried to do
subterranean parking? I feel like is at least $1 million toward like that. He doesn't need to do anything. The garage, the bedroom to make it a closet was enough, and the
easy,
tub.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, couple thousand.
Yeah.
Not
So
for them, a couple thousand pocket change. For me, I'm like,
I'm guessing he gave in on the new cabinets, the closet, the tub, things that he could actually change up.
Yeah, because with the parking, you don't realize these, like you have to cut into a hill, and there's all problems with you can't because of like biodiversity, and there's all laws there, and then no, you can't cut there because if you cut it's a huge thing. So he's smart, and I think that's why I respect him, because he stands his ground.
Yeah,
and he's very black and white, and he's a very strong businessman. He's when he's happy, he's happy, and when he's not happy, he's not happy. And I'm like, hats off to you, mate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I completely agree.
He's very smart in that aspect. But they ended up getting the deal done. And James, being the smooth agent that he is, actually got $400,000 more than Jay said his absolute bottom line was. So kudos to him for that.
And I love that $400,000 to them is kind of like no big deal. I'm like, if you gave me $400,000 cash, I'm like, oh my god. But to them, that's just like, oh, just bumping up the deal a bit,
But that's why these guys are the top.
Aggressive.
And they're because they make sure they know their clients can pay that amount. Just like Flags Cameron, she can pay the full price.
Yeah.
But they want to save the money. That's why they keep their reputation so well. And they save their clients money even if they're billionaires.
And she's an heiress. The parents are going to get her what she wants.
Yeah.
She really wanted that house, so she got it.
And that's why a lot of celebrities...
Smart investment.
I remember the Beckham saying, because they didn't have a problem with it in the UK, but when they moved to America, because they were going into the houses as the Beckhams, they would raise the prices $2 or $3 million because they're worth almost $1 billion. And they said it's a huge problem especially in LA, because people know how much money you have.
They know you have it. They know you want it.
And that's the biggest struggle that they've had. And a lot of people who are high profile and have lots of money, it is a problem.
Can't you keep the client anonymous? I don't know. I'm not a real estate agent.
You can, yes.
That's
you
what I expect.
You can, but then there's documents that you provide where they're able,
Afterward,
even if you don't,
right?
yeah, once you propose and put through an offer, you see their financials and everything like that. So even if you don't know who it is, there's still some tug that you can
But at the end of the day, I'm not feeling sorry for David and Victoria Beckham having to pay an extra $2 million for a $120 million property in Beverly Hills.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to think of.
Yeah.
That's how these people stay in those spots. Like Jay, he didn't want to go down, but that's how he stays as a top developer. Like Dave and James said, they said, we're getting into the door of all the top developers. They think like that, which keeps them in that spot.
And they're breaking into the doors too.
Absolutely,
David and James just walking into that home. I love that scene.
Yeah.
They just walk in and they start looking around the home and they're
Love
looking
that.
for the owner.
Trespassing.
Be aggressive.
Was it James who was a little bit
They
scared?
were trespassing in a nice way.
Yeah, David was the hesitant one.
Yeah.
But he admitted that it wasn't the first time that they have done it.
He said,
so.
I would be lying.
I wonder how effective that is, though. Like,
But they were nice about it. I thought so.
The owner was definitely nice about it.
Yeah.
Because he could have
They
been
got
like,
lucky.
what are you doing here? Get out of my house.
They got the
He spoke
listing
with them.
in the
He
end.
was really nice to them.
He had an agent already. But remember, he was like,
When he went
bring us
back?
your
A buyer, and they were like,
Oh,
we
I thought
don't
they
want
went
to
back.
work with a buyer.
Okay.
We want this listing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I say they're gonna come back for that.
Yeah, I reckon too.
They're gonna be aggressive.
I think half of it is just looking the part. If you look the part and act the part, I think you can get away with most things, yeah.
But I love that he shouted out the agency, the owner did. He was like, so is that what you guys do there? You just walk into people's houses?
Good question. How did you know they were from the agency? Oh, I guess because it was 2 doors down.
Well, they
probably
walked in
saw
and
it.
they introduced themselves.
That's true.
the
Well said.
agency.
I'm like, was it
From
some
the
producers
agency.
setting up? All right, you're gonna walk in the house.
No, they announced who they are.
They
so,
couldn't.
So they
Well,
don't get in trouble for
Well,
trespassing.
that's a huge thing, the rivalry between Hilton and Highland and the agency. Because I've got a little bit of inside gossip.
Ooh,
I
okay.
used to run a charity, and the Hiltons were on board of the charity.
You heard it here first, everyone.
You get it first, and they
Right here on AfterBuzz.
ended up leaving because Maurizio was getting involved with the charity as well, and they have nothing, the Hiltons, to do with Maurizio.
Right.
At all, because the Hiltons say that he was working for them, and then he saw the clients and started the agency, but then he says they didn't allow him to be a business partner, so he went off and did his own thing. And that's why, I know this is a frivolous show, but it's also on Bravo, the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fights between Kim and Kyle are usually, it's mainly to do with the Hilton Highland thing and the Maurizio thing.
Really?
So when in the press, when Kyle and Maurizio weren't invited to Nikki Hilton's wedding, it was actually because of Maurizio. And that's why he never ended up going to the wedding and just Kyle could go.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you heard
Wow.
it here first.
Drama
D-rama.
on screen.
There
off
we
screen.
go. I know. Yeah.
Sheesh.
Shish kebab.
Can we talk about Josh Altman getting married?
Yes.
Yeah.
Trying to
'cause that
diet.
happened in the first episode with his fitting and Heather trying to see a little of his tush a little bit. That was very cute. I happen to like that.
Yeah, and I really like how his wife was talking about Lucky's wife, saying she's a smart woman because she's putting her foot down, saying this is how much the house should go for. Let's just sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was kind of sad I didn't see her in episode 2. I do have a little bit of a crush, even though she's married. But we didn't get to see her only for
there
the...
yet.
Coming up next week, we got to see Heather. But Heather's a boss, too.
Yes,
You know,
she totally
you
is.
think
I really
that
like
Josh
her.
Altman is so strong that no one can tell him what to do until Heather comes in the room. And then he has to listen to the wife.
Which I have to admit, going back a couple seasons, I was a little salty in how they got together.
With Madison?
With Madison.
Yeah.
That whole kind of betrayal, non-betrayal, call it what you want thing.
Over $5,000.
I know, it's $5,000 to them, you know?
I mean,
Maybe at the time when they weren't
They're
top
playing with
dogs.
hundreds.
Yeah, but it meant a lot to Madison just because I think he and Heather were so close. But I think they've all gotten past it at this point, and everything's fine. But seeing them actually getting ready to walk down the aisle, especially how it ended last year with Josh getting cold
Water
feet.
under the bridge.
Yeah.
I love it.
But it's
I'm very forgiving.
It's
Yeah,
cute
same,
how
yeah.
they made it. But yeah, Natalie, as you were saying, Josh eating.
He's getting ready for the wedding. He's
salad.
on a diet. He's eating a salad.
He's on the phone.
They're sticking it in his face. Here are my fries. Here's your salad.
But he was actually eating some of Matt's fries, right?
He was.
Matt was being nice about it. He was taking the fries away, but then while Josh was on the
He's being
phone,
nice about
you
it.
see Josh just grab a couple fries, and Matt was like, "Yo, I gotta go." And then Matt, see,
Is
that's
that
how
what you would
Josh
want
is.
your friends to do?
Well,
Take
he
it
dropped.
away.
I would like that, but
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when Matt dropped some of the sauce on the ground, and Josh was like, "Did you just drop something on the ground? Pick it up." And even Matt was like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
God.
Well, growing up with him, he probably knows like Josh's habits or
True.
if he's OCD
Very
or
particular.
something like that. Yeah.
True.
So that's very interesting. But yes, I hope that we do see them actually. Well, from the previews, we will see them walk down the aisle.
Mhm.
We will.
And
I'm
that's gonna be
excited
very
for
nice.
that.
Well,
I
the fight is
know.
first, because Heather on the next week, she's like, "You won't help me set up for the wedding." Girls don't all talk like that.
Great
Just-
question.
What's happening? What's happening next week?
Isn't that funny how you immediately go to a certain voice?
Yeah, I
whether
don't
it's
know
your mom
why.
or
Great,
your
now I'm
dad.
set up. I'll get out of here. I can
No,
get
no, I do that-
comments.
I do
Nick,
that-
you ass.
Yes. No, I do that with my dad as well. Like when I'm impersonating my mom, I'm like, and then I just my dad, like, "Dad, you need to be more serious
Is that
in life."
really how your mom sounds, Dad?
No. Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
But I think we basically covered mostly everything. Oh, I did want to mention that, yes, Madison is back. However, he wasn't back for episode 2.
No.
And I really wrote in big letters, "Where's Madison?" But
I hope
that's
to see,
just my personal.
That's
clients being
answered
brought to
soon.
each other's properties. Because I always feel like every single season, Madison is always in his own show on
Yeah.
the show.
Yeah.
Because it's Soap Malibu, as we know here, many other people don't maybe know, but Malibu and LA is a good 45-minute drive. Like downtown is a good 45-minute drive. So that's
Very
why he has
different
his own
market.
show. Yeah. It's interesting why they chose Madison to stay on the show, even though he's so far away. Because sometimes in the past, when they've wanted to bring clients from LA to Malibu, what they've done is shuttle buses with the clients and the agents in it. So, I hope to see some crossover. Maybe a client from Josh wants to buy from Madison or vice versa.
I think they brought him back because he's a fan favorite. I know I got excited when
Really?
he came back. Yeah, but I've been watching the show since the beginning.
Uh-huh.
So with Josh Flagg and Chad Rogers and Madison Hildebrand, like
Chad.
those were my guys. So
Chad.
last year,
I thought there were a lot of
Chad.
difficult buyers in the second episode.
Yeah.
Oh,
A
yeah.
lot of difficult ones. Has
Oh,
it
yeah.
been like that since you started watching it?
yes,
Does it change as the market changes?
You do get a lot of, and we see a lot of repeating buyers too. I'm trying to think.
I would say
of-
season 7 and up, we've seen repeating. Because the cast has stayed more consistent. I feel like 4 through 6 has been kind of different. And then Chad left, and then Chad came back, and then Chad has his whole story. I don't know why he left.
I
That
don't
guy
know,
was a
but
hoot.
He's like a musician now. In
But
addition
Josh
to doing real
was
estate.
talking about how much inventory there is and how picky the buyers are. Remember the girl with the basketball player boyfriend that was like
Oh, January.
January,
Yeah.
yes, and she just looked at the yard and she said, "Nope, I don't even want to see the rest of the house.
See, that's
I
what-
know my dogs are not going to fit in this yard."
Boom. That's one of my favorite things is seeing the buys and how they're almost from a different planet. Some of the buys. It's so great. I love the Botox. I love the extremity. Like you just can't do it. Like
I mean, but if you're talking about like a 6'10", 7'1" guy, he kind of needs to be
Yeah,
able to
yeah, yeah.
stretch out a little bit, and then dogs.
In general,
the
we see a lot of
backyard.
these, when we get into this type of clientele,
Yeah.
we see the wants and needs change from maybe,
of course.
middle class home, a $500,000 home. Not that I'm saying that's even easy itself. But what I'm saying is when you get up to the $10 million house, $20 million, they're like, oh, the corners are too sharp. They're too circular. It's too circular. Yeah, apparently that voice went in my head too. Just like a
Yeah.
girl
That's
voice.
your buyer
That's a
voice.
rich guy.
Yeah.
This is too good.
I mean, but when you're laying down, like you're saying, when you're laying down $2+ million,
Yeah.
you want things kind of exactly how you want it.
That's why I was laughing. My friend's a real estate agent, and she was saying this week she had a client say, I really want like an 18 like square. No, wait, I can't even do an accent. Wait. She's like, there's only like 12 parking spaces in the house. Like I really like my dreams to have like 18, you know. So I'm gonna have to pass.
Dang.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I want the Zen feel, so I'd be picky.
Yeah, she was like so chill. She's like, you know, like I really want 12. I really want 18. Like that's my dream, you know.
Well, Dan, you want bamboo and pandas, so.
Oh, I just want the panda bears, the baby. I want the mom, the dad, and then they can make a little mini panda. Yeah.
Are you just gonna watch them sip on your coffee in the morning?
Yeah.
You go, pandas.
And then I love you. And then my best friend wants cows.
Okay.
So then the pandas and the cows can play.
Same color pattern, same colorway.
Yeah.
I was gonna say you might have to move a little farther out of the city for
No,
that.
Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills.
Oh God.
Yeah, come bring the cows over. They'll play.
Trendsetter.
Yeah.
It's cool to have cows.
Yeah. So you can arrange that for me, you know?
I lived in
I'll see
Central
what I can do.
California, Dan. I got a few choices for you.
Oh, yeah. Spin-off show, you know. Dan looks for pandas, you know. Dan's panda home.
That could really turn into something though.
Yeah.
Could be.
Dan's panda home.
AfterBuzz real estate. AfterBuzz listings.
Yeah. I love it.
Then we can start drama.
Do you know what I'm excited
Make way.
for, actually? Because apparently next season in $1 Million Listing Los Angeles. Next season, not this season, the following season after this season, Muhammad Hadid's house is going to be for sale, which is supposed to be one of the most beautiful houses in all of Los Angeles.
I've seen pictures, yeah.
Yeah, because he's building, a bigger, even more grand house. So I can't wait to see that.
Because they start shooting the next day after a season wraps. They start shooting.
Yeah. So I think apparently it's going to be on then the following season 10.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And I think do you know what I really want to see as well? The Spellings old mansion, because remember that Russian heiress had it, but now she lives back in Russia and just kind of sits there. And she fully did like a $3 million renovation on it. I'd love to see more pics of that.
And now she wants to. I just read about this the other day. Now she wants to sell it because of what the Playboy Mansion sold for. Yeah. Because it sold for such a high amount. Now she wants to raise the price.
Because she got a good deal on. I think it went for like 120 mil, and she got like 9. What did she pay?
I think like 85.
Yeah, she paid like 85 for it, and it was valued at 100. Because after 2008, so she actually, it was an investment, and that's what her dad said actually. Because people said, "Oh, this is so ridiculous." He said, "No, this covers all of it, and there's bags, all of her shoes, all of her shopping, because like they saved like $40 million on it. Yeah. Because like all her frivolous spending is actually covered by how much they saved."
Can you imagine having that much money? Sorry, I just went somewhere. Can you imagine being able to just drop $85 million for a house? Because some of these people buy them with all cash, no financing or anything.
That's true.
That's my favorite, when they're just even in the episode 6.9 million cash. Like,
1 week, yeah.
Like, sure.
Like you pulled out your wallet and it was just like,
yeah.
here.
We were watching the episode.
And you never
Dan
know
pulled
what
out
it
his
is
wallet.
that attracts them. It's like the yard or the closet. For me, it would be the closet. If I had a house with a huge closet, I don't write that check.
Yeah. And then I'm paying my $1,000 a month rent, and I'm like, oh no, I can only take $500 a day out with my Wells Fargo today. I'm going to be another day late. I'm like, do you mind? Because I can only take $500 out a day.
That's where wire transfers come in.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
We got to talk like $1 Million Listing now.
Yeah.
Dream big, everyone.
So you guys want to go have dinner on
Dream
Friday
big.
after this?
We're doing that. You're all welcome to join us.
Totally.
Head over to the Montage and grab a coffee at Bouchon, Just
Rich
a
stuff.
regular old thing. Yeah.
And then we go to the Montage Laguna, and just like chill for the day.
I like how we can carry on this story for a little while because it actually is kind of fun acting like this.
Yeah, I'm like, can we just pretend? Yeah.
That should be what we do. We come in as agents every week.
Well, that's the biggest problem I have, because in my hand, I feel like a very rich person.
That's good. That's how you should think.
Well,
You're
that's the
preparing
first
yourself.
step.
I
You're
feel-
putting that out in the universe, Dan.
Yeah, I feel like a billionaire, and then I.
And keep feeling that way, because that'll
Let me
go.
hear that. Let me hear that. What?
That's
Then you
the
feel
law
like
of
what?
attraction.
And then I go and put in my try and take money out of like my $500 day limit, because I don't don't have enough money in my account. They don't trust me with more than 500.
Right.
Yeah. Bloody hell.
Put it out in the universe.
As you said,
It's going
green
to
card,
happen.
get married.
Oh no, actually that's another actually guys, I've decided I want to be a real estate agent since watching the show, and my current visa only allows me to be a host. So the only way I can be a real estate agent and a host is if I marry someone.
Hold up the hand. We need to fill up that finger for you.
I know, so I've already got a ring, don't even have to buy it, so I can just put it on the
Dan's convenient.
Yeah, see, I've already got it. There we go. So if anyone wants to marry me,
Do you have any stats?
And
Do you
if
have
our
any stats?
viewers didn't get this from your accent, you're from Australia.
I don't care.
You don't even care.
I'm negative and a bottom. So yeah, there we go.
I was gonna say, what's your budget? But after you said what you just said, I'm just
That's
not
my
gonna...
stats. Well, that's my stats for Grindr, but maybe, yeah. But anyway, if anyone wants to marry me, let me know.
Great first show.
You're not gonna find someone through Grindr to marry.
I've tried.
You never
I've done it
know.
all. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
knows?
you've tried on.
Crazy
Yeah.
things have happened.
Yeah.
But speaking of weddings and predictions...
Ooh, I love predictions. The music. Woo, predictions. I'm excited.
AfterBuzz TV.
Predictions. I feel like you should go first. Yeah.
What in prediction?
What are you predicting for the next
for this-
episode?
or for the rest of the season,
Yeah.
Josh and...
Oh, please start.
Heather's
Please
wedding.
start out. Let me follow. Let me follow in the
Okay.
lead.
And just copy. That's what I do. Just,
Yeah, I'm interested.
yeah.
I do think that Josh and Heather's wedding is going to be very beautiful.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be exactly what Heather wants. Josh is going to cry, as we've seen from previews. And also for David and James, they're heading into Malibu. And I think they will try to do a deal with Madison. I don't think it's going to go very well, but we'll see. Anything's possible.
I like that. Well, what I do for predictions is I do what I want to happen. Like, so it's,
Okay.
I put it out in the universe. So I predict that I'm going to be on the show,
Okay.
married and a real estate agent and a TV host.
While you say this, I'm gonna write down while I'm listening to that.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what I predict. What do you predict?
I like you. I'm gonna take your prediction. Let's get on the show together.
Oh, boo, maybe. We can get married. I can just, oh my God, I can have like a come to Jesus moment. I can go to gay conversions. Mike Pence, wherever you are. Oh, sorry. Mike Pence, wherever you are. I'll come to Indiana and you can put me through conversion. We'll get married in Indiana.
do it.
It's done. Yes.
You know, my old boss said I could see you on $1 Million Listing.
Boom.
So-
Done and done.
I'm on
you
the
go.
after show.
And you have
I'm
a
one
partner.
step closer.
Yep.
Boom. Business partners
We're gonna
and
make
life
this
partners.
happen.
Yes. Woo.
Sorry if you guys don't like those predictions. I'll come up with a better one.
Yeah,
Well, I
maybe.
have another one. The Dolphin Estate, the one Manny owns. I'm afraid about where that's gonna go. I'm like nervous about that one. I don't know what I'm predicting yet, but I just know I'm nervous about it. They're gonna be working on that for a while.
That there's something out there,
Yes.
like in the universe about
They're
it.
gonna lease it for 2 months, and then when is that gonna sell? I don't know. I feel like David and James are gonna have a hard time with that.
Okay.
You know what's gonna happen?
What's gonna happen?
I feel like the guy leasing the place for the 2 months is actually gonna want to. Manny and David and James are gonna convince the guy. Why doesn't he just buy a place?
That's a good prediction.
Yes.
And so then they sell the guy a house, that man, and then it could be a woman.
Could be one. Yes. Yes.
Let's not get caught up. Apparently, I already got in trouble.
Donald. That's it. Yeah.
No, it's like, get out.
You're not running for president.
And
It's
then
okay.
it was. See, I always get. The only thing is, I get David and James's faces mixed up. So
Yes.
I think there's gonna be a 4th child on the way. I think there's gonna be another pregnancy with them.
Oh, for James
Yeah.
and Valeria. Okay.
Yeah,
Couldn't think of anything worse.
James
4
wants a third
kids.
baby.
because James wants another baby. I
No,
think
he
it's.
wants a third.
Is it third?
Third,
He has
third.
two.
Okay.
He wants a boy.
So yeah, I think there's a pregnancy gonna happen in Valeria. Then there's gonna be really drama with that. But then also the wedding is gonna be a whole hour-long episode of very high emotions, and John's gonna be like, oh, do you think Madison's gonna show up to the wedding? I got really for real about that. Do you think Madison will show
I
up to the
do,
wedding?
yeah.
That would
say
be
yes.
cute.
I'm
That would be cute
predicting
if they
yes.
invite. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll strut like right through the center.
Oh, they'll edit it like
Yeah.
he shows up last second, like I'm here for you, Heather.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna make her cry, not the actual wedding, not Josh.
Yeah,
Just
it's like
Madison coming.
Then it's like they're gonna make a touching moment with that. Then you know what's gonna happen? Then they're all gonna be on Watch What Happens Live.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cute.
Boom, yeah.
Boom, that's a night right there.
Okay.
I like it. I'm with your prediction. I think your prediction is the best. Sorry, yours is good.
No.
Mine was a bit of a fantasy, but I'm with you. Hashtag I'm with him.
I have one more
Yeah.
prediction that we will be here next week.
Oh my
True.
God.
Yeah.
Awesome
So-
crew.
That
Nick,
one's
we'll
foolproof.
start with you. Let everybody know where they can find you.
Yeah, I'm Nick Mardi once again. You can find me on Instagram where I'm heavy at NickMardi13. That's pretty much Twitter too, but
What's the 13 about? Is that your number? Was it
13 was my number in rugby.
Okay.
I was outside center.
Plays rugby.
Yeah, I play rugby. I'm not a real estate agent. I just really enjoy the show a lot.
As
Yes.
do a lot of the viewers.
And there's already a Nick Mardi, and it's one of those people that have a profile and don't even use it.
I feel that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
That's
that
the
when I was
worst.
looking for you.
Yes, and look at our producer just put a little note. Hashtag I'm with you. Thank you. Yeah.
Have a little fan base.
All right,
I'm
everyone,
with
thank
you.
you for listening. And I'm Nataly Tavidian. That's Nataly with a Y, Nataly. You can find me everywhere at Nataly Tavidian. And this was my first ever AfterBuzz show, as was Nick Marty.
I
So
don't even see
yay!
anything. I've been here.
Your AfterBuzz TV virginity is gone.
Did I make a mistake?
No,
okay, I'm announcing
It was
mine.
our first show. It was our first show.
Well, yeah, congratulations, guys, on losing your AFTERBUZZ TV virginity. I'm so
Thank
impressed
you.
that we lost
Thank
it
you,
all
Dan.
together.
Felt different.
And you can find me on the tweet at Dan Babic with an underscore after Babic, and find me on the Instagram at Dan Babic. That's DANBABIC, bitches.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. My name is Erica Shannon. You can find me on Twitter at Miss Airy Baby. And don't forget to keep the conversation going with all of us, and down below in the comments if you're on YouTube. We're also on iTunes, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Hashtag I'm with you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.